That must have been some of the material. Okay, pause.
Yeah.
That must have been some of the material of one of the other writers, because I don't remember writing that one.
I feel like he was looking for a little more from that Macaulay Culkin joke. I bet you if he'd known that's what it was, he might not have circled back. But you got to admire his circle back. It was pretty flawless.
Yeah.
Pretty seamless.
Yeah. I mean, that segue back into Macaulay Culkin, it's like, oh, wow, that's amazing. He can manipulate the audience. He's got them in the palm of his semi-gloved hand.
Palm of his fucking hand. Let's press play.
Speaking of the Super Bowl, which we were earlier before we spoke about Macaulay Culkin. So just take your mindset back to that. Remember the big game that nobody... Well, I don't give a shit about it. I'm sure the whole fucking world does, but I don't care. I've seen all the new advertisements online already. They premiere them on Thursday and Friday. What's the point of watching the game? Nobody's going to die. But people like this Super Bowl. And according to the good folks at Grubhub, mention Bane and get 10% off at Grubhub delivery. Go to the Grubhub app and just enter Bane of my...
Okay, let's pause for a second.
Bane of my subsistence.
Yeah, let's pause.
Pause. I don't think that's a real promotion, by the way.
Probably not, but, comedians,
Funny.
They're always saying
Crazy shit.
Lies.
Like
yeah. He's just joking, probably.
Whatever they can do to get a laugh, it's really that's working down there.
No doubt.
We're learning about this guy.
I'm sure Grubhub is just appreciative for the free shout-out. So
yeah, then not a lot of people know about him.
This guy, he's getting the word out. And we press play.
Okay.
So I was talking about the people at Grubhub who've paid me nothing. I didn't get any money from them. I'm more of a Postmates person, but I didn't write this joke clearly. I bought it off the internet. And I guess Grubhub is more prominent wherever this writer must be Nebraska. Everywhere else in the world, it's either DoorDash or Uber Eats. Grubhub. I'm going to have to look them up on Ask Jeeves. Yahoo. Anyway, I'm throwing a little side shade at the once mega search giant, now fallen at the feet of Google. According to the people at Grubhub, or substitute your favorite food service delivery app. According to the people at a food delivery app, they are estimating that Super Bowl Sunday will be the biggest food delivery of the year. Do you know what we called food delivery where I grew up? When a rat ran across your face when you were sleeping. Convenient, fresh, and no need to tip. Am I right? Ladies and gentlemen, the tip is the worst part. Makes it so expensive. No, that one's not universal. Cut me off privileged, am I? Oh. It all fell apart.
1 second. Can we pause for 1 second?
Yeah.
I don't think he understands the idea of a topical.
No.
And what that is that like a writer, a comedy person, they will go and they'll find a real story in the press.
Yes.
And they'll report the headline of that story.
Right.
And then the part after the setup is no longer true. It's only the setup has to be true. But then, So this whole thing with Grubhub, maybe there was an article somewhere where somebody saw that Grubhub was making that claim. Just saying. It's funny. As we start to pull apart and analyze this guy.
It's a long road to go down on, Andy, for a joke written by a guy on the internet.
That's true.
You don't have to defend that joke, right?
I'm not defending the joke. I'm more just analyzing how, Bane, while funny.
How did we get here?
seems to have a long way to go still in terms of understanding some of the ropes in the biz.
He's green. It's that simple. Yeah, let's fucking get back in there.
Yeah, but we got a lot to get through.
And we press play.
Can't believe someone wrote Grubhub. Still. No wonder the joke bombed. Who here uses Grubhub? No one, right? You, sir, you look like a DoorDash man. Yes, of course you are. And you're just young enough to be an Uber eater. Your postmate, Malone himself. Neither one of you are using Grubhub. Unbelievable. $40 I paid for that joke. If he had used the term Postmates, it would have been worth $50. Speaking of cheap businesses, the Standard Hotel on the Sunset Strip, which had famous investors like Leonardo DiCaprio, is going out of business. Or another way to put it, once upon a time in Hollywood, the inception of a hotel was a titanic investment that is now departed. Did everyone see the rat run across the railing at the end of that joke? Profound or stupid? You tell me.
Pause. Wow, man. I mean, this guy's working real local to talk about the closing of the Standard Hotel and shit. That one's stunning.
Well, I mean, that's a kind of an international story because that hotel is in 7 cities around the world.
It's true. That's, to me, it was a local story, but you're right. Other people have heard of this hotel. They're like, hey, fuck you, Hollywood. We've all heard of the Standard. Mm-hmm. How many people have stayed there? You ever stay there? I did.
No, but I live here.
Me too. I didn't even stay at the Standard overnight. We rented the hotel one day, me and my wife, and had sex there. And then left and came back to our home, which is literally 5 minutes away.
Yes. It was probably took longer to wait for your car at the valet than it would have been to walk.
Or fuck. That was 10 years into the marriage. Now we're over 20.
Wow.
Yeah, fucking popping down to the hotel for a quickie don't really fucking cut the mustard anymore. Particularly in the age of COVID. It's like, ooh, you want to pop by the hotel? She's like, there's nobody here. Let's just fuck here in the house. And she's like, I don't even want to fuck. So why are we talking? Let's watch something. Stream that. And then we stream something.
What was the attraction that the sign was upside down?
Yeah, I don't know why we went, but we also took a soundtrack from that place. You not took it; they sold a CD that was like the Standard, and we.
What are you doing? It's making the audio go crazy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was touching something. I was touching the monitor. The computer. How weird! You heard that?
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm gonna do it again. You hear that?
Yeah.
That's so weird. What does it sound like?
It sounds like you're scratching.
Get out of here. Hold on. Let me try it.
Now it doesn't work because you wanted to.
I know. God damn it. I thought we were on to something. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be a brand new Diplo of this motherfucker. I'm like,
there it is.
I'm back.
It was a little something.
I'm a musical genius. Wait, what were we talking about?
The Standard's upside down logo. You said you had a soundtrack from that place.
I took a CD from that place because when we were there, we had sex. We put the CD on, and then when we left, I was like, you know what? Let's fucking take this with us. It was all right because we never played music during sex. I used to love listening to music while fucking, but Jennifer was like, how am I supposed to concentrate if I'm listening to lyrics? And so then for years, it was just quiet.
Well, that's because it was always the soundtrack to South Pacific.
Yes.
You probably got something else going.
Valley High.
There was nothing like a dame.
She just never wanted to hear music and shit. And so for years, all I heard was,
okay,
move, fuck back.
Help us.
So then one day, because we went to the Standard Hotel, we got that soundtrack, and we have that. Literally, no lie, has become for years now our go-to sex music. music on that CD. So I'll miss the standard. I know Bane was making fun of it, but like it will forever play a role in my life. And I had no idea that fucking Leonardo DiCaprio had money in it, man. So if I ever meet him, I'm going to be like, you know what, bro? I've been fucking to the same CD for the last 15 years or more. And that
I know exactly what he's going to say when you say it.
What's he going to say?
Security?
You think you're funny, Andy. Let's listen to Bane.
Wait, one more thing. I got a question.
Yeah.
He keeps talking about paying all this money for these jokes, and I have yet to see $1.
No, I don't know. You take it up with him. I don't want to get between you guys.
Okay, that's fine.
Fair enough. This guy does not sound stable. I wouldn't be fucking dealing with him.
How do you collect from him?
Exactly. Don't send him jokes anymore, man. But then again, lose your phone number if you do. All right, we press play.
Does everyone despise Ryan Seacrest as much as I do? Because if so, this next joke is going to rock your dome. Ryan Seacrest is selling his Beverly Hills estate for $85 million. What the fuck? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong when a man like Seacrest has an $85 million mansion? I once held Gotham ransom. Can't make my rent. Fuck. All he does is speak. It's not like he cures cancer. He fucking hosts. $85 million. It's disgusting. Here comes the punchline. The spokesman for Seacrest released this statement. Seacrest out. Seacrest out and I'm out of my mind. $85 million home for what? What does he do? I'm a worldwide terrorist. I fought the Batman to a standstill. I've broken his back. It's a good thing I'm a Bernie bro. Money doesn't mean that much to me. I have principles and standards. That's what I have. Let Ryan Seacrest have a giant $85 million home. The home in my heart is priceless. Priceless.
Pause. Wow. I mean, did he forget he was at a comedy club?
That one really resonated with old Bane.
I mean, it resonated with me. I thought that was kind of beautiful. This guy's maybe like a Lenny Bruce, man. He may be funny, but he's also got some shit to say. He's a thinker, this comedian. It's not the jokes he buys. Those are pretty bad, but it's the things, the points he makes between the jokes. That's where the humor is, I think. We'll see. I don't know. Let's press play.
Oh, great. Another nutrition study. Am I right? Isn't that how we all feel every time we read about another nutrition study? Oh, great. Well, a new government survey finds that most Americans don't eat enough fruits and vegetables every day. Somebody spent money to do that. Probably $85 million. They could have bought Seacrest's house, pricks. In a related study, the sun came up this morning and water is wet. Because nobody likes fruits and vegetables when you can have processed foods pre-sweetened with high fructose corn syrup. Or sugar, cane sugar, if you buy things from Whole Foods. Which I can't, because I'm not Ryan fucking Seacrest in my $85 million mansion that I can just sell. It's not his only home. That's the sickening part. Turns my stomach to see that amount of wealth in the hands of one man. For what? Let's talk about baseball, shall we? Everybody loves the great American game of baseball. Well, Yankee Stadium is where they play the great game of baseball. At least they used to. For now, the New York health officials have started using Yankee Stadium as a vaccination site for all New York City residents. Not because it's convenient, mind you, but because there are so many free leftover needles from A-Rod's time on the team. I'm sure one of you will explain that joke to me one day. I'm not a sports aficionado. Is this about some sort of juicing scandal? I guess that would stand to reason. Let me go with another punchline. Now, the only thing that you will get sick from at Yankee Stadium is the food. Because, as you know, Yankee Stadium consistently ranks at the bottom for food quality and safety, national standards and testing. You didn't read that on Google News. Well, apparently you don't read Google News when you take a shit every morning. You should. You're sitting there anyway. Spend the time to expand your mind. You'll remember it because it rhymes. There's a third punchline for the weak-minded. Due to its use as a vaccination site, I shall refrain from blowing up Yankee Stadium until July 2022, ladies and gentlemen. Try to win the pennant when there is no fucking building. Don't send some kid out there to sing, I'll tell you right now. That didn't work here in Gotham. It won't work in New York City. I will level Yankee Stadium if my demands are not met by this government or the Batman.
1 second. Hey.
Who in fuck's sake was that? I'm sorry. Is my comedy interfering with your marriage, sir? My God. The incivility, man's incivility to man. I'm up here practicing a time-honored art form, bearing my soul, bravely stepping out and speaking to power. And you're going to sit there in the audience and what, bicker with your wife? Do it on your own time. 2-drink minimum and a $20 cover charge. Bicker on your own time. Am I right, people? Leave him alone. Oh, fuck you. Why don't you go suck his dick while his wife watches?
Man.
Pause. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's a time-honored tradition, Andy, for a good comedian to heckle back at the audience, but that didn't sound like heckling as much as bile.
Yeah, no, he doesn't have he doesn't know how to ramp up to the big stuff. He just goes straight. He goes from 0 to 100.
I gotta see how he recovers from this. How do you bounce back after something like that? Press play.
I don't know. I mean, the audience might turn on him.
And play.
I see everybody is up my ass about being real, so I better take it back to the safe jokes. This one's about the world's tiniest reptile. Hopefully you'll be able to handle this. Fucking children. Here we go. Blow up animal humor. A chameleon the size of a seed was discovered in Madagascar last week. Scientists are saying it's the world's tiniest reptile. But today, David Spade said, "Hey, what about me?" I just rocked you with my David Spade impression. It's a twofer. He's got a show on Netflix, so he's current again. So this is not an old reference. It's fairly new. Any chance I get to throw a shot at David Spade, oh, it's what makes this job worth living. Oh, let's see. Speaking of kooky celebrities, professional talker and part-time filmmaker Kevin Smith. You all heard of this clown? This 2-mask wearing fucking clown. That's coming from me. Look at this mask, and I'm mocking his. He has been discussing his fasting regimen on his popular podcast. While he can go much longer, he regularly goes on 86-hour fasts. You know what we called an 86-hour fast back in the pit? A 3-day weekend. Sometimes the gods would go home and they wouldn't come back till Monday, and we'd starve until we ate one another. I fed on the flesh of another man, cooked it myself, chewed it like so much chicken. The gods didn't care. Nobody cared. There's no oversight in a place like that.
Thank you, honey.
Oh my God, what the hell is happening in this club? Is that the waitress? Yeah, don't forget to tip her when the show's over. I don't know what that said. I'm walking. Good for you.
Hey man, it's me, Kevin Smith. Have you been looking for all my old podcasts, the ones I started recording back in 2007? Well, guess what? I found them. They're all hiding in that Kevin Smith Club. See all the video you've never seen, including exclusive movies and live shows. You want some swag? That Kevin Smith Club is making pins and miniature versions of my old scripts. If you want to be involved in the least exclusive, most inclusive club on the net, join that Kevin Smith Club. Now's your chance to Club Kevin Smith.
I'm getting the red light, ladies and gentlemen. Telling me that they're walking. Oh, let's see. Did you hear the one about the St. Louis jail revolt? More than 100 prisoners in the St. Louis detention center rioted, lighting fires and throwing furniture out the windows. I'm shocked and angry and saddened that no one thought to invite me. You know what's always good? Weather humor. Everybody loves a weather joke. Meteorology gets right to the heart of the funny bone. So, with your permission, he said sarcastically, I would like to speak with you about the polar vortex. The northern United States is experience freezing temperatures as low as minus 25 degrees, 25 degrees below zero, in a phenomenon called the polar vortex. Yet some areas could go up to a warm 60 degrees by next week. Minus 25 to plus 60 in a week? That's not a polar vortex. I call that a bipolar vortex. Because the swings are as emotional and as wide as those that have to deal with bipolar disorder. Do you understand? I hate doing comedy for you plebes. But it's the only way to get my own Amazon comedy special. Speaking of Amazon, the founder of Amazon.com, Jeff Bezos, announced this week he is stepping down as CEO of the company. Sad. He said he's stepping down to spend more time violating the privacy of his customers. Alexa, can you play everything I've said for the last 5 years? There's an alternate punchline, just in case you didn't like that one, although I thought that rocked. But here's the alt. You know, a lot of people like his decision, and to that I replied, people who like Jeff Bezos stepping down may also like the Hamilton Beach Mixmaster 9000. You see, if you've ever shopped on Amazon, you know that is very funny. Very funny. I love it when we can goose consumer culture. We hold an audience up to you. We hold an audience. We hold a mirror up to you, the audience, and show you yourselves. And you are thoroughly disgusted. And wisely so. Look at these meat puppets, you say to yourselves. Don't they realize how futile it all is? Well, welcome to my world. Welcome to my train of thought. Grab on tight or I'm going to throw you out the caboose of this train of thought. Oh, speaking of train of thought. The iPad mini. Right? Make it smaller, we said. Apple said, oh, of course. Now give me $1,000. We forgot to say, make it smaller and free. We won't be fooled again, will we? Apple has announced plans to release a new iPad mini that is faster, has a longer battery life, and is much bigger. A bigger iPad mini, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that's called an iPad. No? Don't you understand how the man is fucking you repeatedly? You don't have to upgrade every time they tell you to. I'm still working on an iPhone 3. You people are fucking sheep. Ugh. Speaking of individuals who disgust those at large, Woody Allen. There, I said it. Woody Allen. HBO has announced new explosive documentary footage series on the director Woody Allen. They're expected to start out appealing to the adult U.S. market, and then almost at the end, oh boy. Oof. And almost at the end expand into the youth market. However, there was a modifier for youth. Controversial to say the least, and even though I've held cities ransom, I'm not going there. Oof.
Pause.
Yeah.
Looks like Bane. Looks like we know where the line is with Bane.
He found it. He don't truck and race stuff, I guess. That's his fucking kryptonite. I didn't think it was I didn't think it was inappropriate.
I think he would have seen that joke on any late night
shows. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Well, he you know what might have happened? He might have watched the documentary about Britney Spears, where they talked about how like everybody on late night saying shit about her made like, you know, her life harder and shit.
So I understood.
Maybe he's like, oh man, fucking.
Yeah, I don't want to take a shot at Woody Allen. His life's hard enough.
I gotta hear more.
I told you there were people, other writers that were contributing to this, and I didn't like a lot of their material.
Hey man, fucking, it's not the material, it's the guy. It's in the hands of the man who's saying it. Put your gland in the hand of the man who has the breather. Put your gland in the hand of the man that. Fuck. I wasn't prepared for the rest. Where's a breather? And then put your gland in the man. Put your gland in the hand of the man who.
The city.
Who talks like this. Put your gland in the... Why am I saying gland? That's not the fucking lyrics at all. I believe it's hand. If you put your gland in my hand, you're not getting it back. I'll wear it around my neck. A necklace full of cocks. That will send a message. Speaking of sending a message, this is my final joke of the evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, wow.
Well, they did flash the red light 45 minutes ago, but I say, fuck who's ever next. I'm on a roll. Clearly, I was on fire this evening. This is a record night for me. What a hot set, ladies and gentlemen. Give yourself a gigantic round of applause for getting this smart material. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a closer in 3 parts. One setup, 3 punchlines. How about that? We'll drag this out as long as we possibly could. It's like the end of the Carol Burnett show. I'll answer your questions until I yank my ear and they pull me off. Which sounds far filthier than I meant it, but I am hoping to get pulled off tonight. Anybody interested? Meet me in the bar afterwards. We can get to know one another and perhaps exchange bodily fluids. As adults do. Jamaica, ladies and gentlemen. The island nation of Jamaica. They're running out of marijuana. Never thought that would happen, am I right? Due to heavy rains that followed a drought, plus a dwindling number of farmers, Jamaican agriculture officials have announced that the island of Jamaica is running out of marijuana. Well, if you're looking for the 7th sign of the apocalypse, Jamaica running out of weed has got to be it. The end of the world will not come with a bong, but with a whimper. Let me switch that up. The end of the world will come not with a whimper, but with a bong. Yes, I felt better. I know it takes the quote out of the proper order, but I always thought that the bang should have been the last part of that line. Whimper was not a... Who am I to argue, but still, I think my way is better. Here's the second punchline, in case you didn't like that. In case that was too heady for you. It's the Stanford joke. Here comes the Stanford punchline. Here comes the UCLA punchline. Rather than soften the blow, they decided to make the announcement blunt. And the third punchline, that is general audiences. Authorities are asking the farmers for help. It will be a joint operation. Boom goes the dynamite, ladies and gentlemen. I know I've rocked your world. Have you had a good time this evening?
Woo!
Is that sarcasm? One lone woo. Oh, fuck this shithole comedy club. This horrible fucking city and everyone who lives in it. Damn them all to hell. You've been a great audience, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. My name is Bane. Keep smiling. Keep shining. Knowing you can always count on me for truth. That's what I am for. I'm just winging this last bit. Trying it out on its feet, if you will. It's workshopping it. Help me out here. Fucking laugh, would you? I try so hard, and you never laugh. And then I kill, and kill again. Don't you see, if there was laughter, there would not be so much death. Is it so hard to find the things I say humorous? Humor me and save a fucking life. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me?
pause. All right, Andy. People at home can't see the clip, but he is just sinking to the floor like he's deflating and literally sobbing on a comedy club stage.
Yeah, it's that's what I said. It's either Andy Kaufman or it's something a lot darker.
All I know is the clip ends there, but as we all saw in the news, he killed everyone after that.
Yeah,
every one of them, including that guy and his wife, which was really sad because they seemed to have a real good marriage going. She said she was walking, but people get into fights all the time and shit. I thought they were going to make it, but not anymore. They didn't make it to the hospital. They died.
No, I guess we buried the lead on that one too, but I don't think people would have enjoyed it as much.
Yeah, now you got to ask yourself, did you laugh? Did you not laugh because it wasn't funny, or did you not laugh because you knew the man killed all the people who also didn't laugh? Boy, oh boy.
Well, to be fair, we did give an hour of silence for the victims of his.
There's nothing I love more than listening to fucking Bane do his thing, man. Ply his trade. Fucking redefine a genre that I love and thought I knew insanely well. I thought I knew every way there was to tell a joke, but Bane teaches me something new all the time. And now he's closing with "That's What Friends Are For."
Yeah. Which, I mean, what do you think the likelihood is that he actually cleared that? Like he's paying for that?
He's a comic. He doesn't have to. He's allowed to.
You think there's a parody there he gets under the fair use?
Absolutely, for sure. That's what friends are for. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's gotta. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Okay. To settle that was my big question about everything. So yeah, that settles it.
I don't think most comics should close with a song unless it's a song of their own composing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like fucking picking a popular song, like it could always go wrong. Like one day that song won't be popular anymore, right?
Yeah, or you pick some song that like, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's something that
like
you then like, oh my God, I got to do it every single time.
Or if you end
like,
with
I want to say goodnight. And they're like, oh, do the song. You're like, all right, all it takes is a pitch pipe, a song and a smile. It's just like you can't keep that.
Is that a real song?
It is. You try harmonizing, and after a while, when you have all the songs memorized, you buy 4 coats and get organized. I told you I was a member of the Society for the Preservation of Barbershop Quartets in America.
What is the song about? That song?
It's about being in a barbershop quartet.
Do barbershop quartets, do any of them sing songs like about, I got some pussy and it was wet, boom, 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 boom. About as wet as a pussy can get, boom, 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 boom. Did they ever do hot songs?
Yeah, they do.
Like, I think people could really like get into barbershop quartet if it just got nasty, man.
There's a whole you don't like the songs you hear are the songs they can play on the radio. Mm-hmm. But then when you see these guys, it's like they do a lot of material about what it's like to be on the road. I mean, women go nuts for those straw hats and the striped jackets.
So what? Their songs are just like, I'm on the road because I'm a singing man. Boom, 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 boom. I'm getting blown by every single fan. Boom, 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 boom.
We should do a whole album.
Fuck yeah. I'm telling you, that's what would make barbershop huge, is if you were like, I ate her asshole like it was cherry pie. Boom, 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 boom. But then she took a shit and I almost died. Boom, 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 boom. I'm telling you, it could be like, remember how big the Jerky Boys were for like a minute? I know it's the second time I referenced them, I think, in the show, but I think we could be like the next Jerky Boys with fucking dirty barbershop quartet songs, because nobody's expecting that. It's an innocent kind of singing, but, put with dirty words, it could be fun and interesting again for the first time. People might like barbershop quartet if you were talking about like, my dick is longer than...
And then you end it with a big, Irish tenor, my cock, stuff like that.
Totally. Like, and I can tell you how to do the business and shit. Wow. His cock is long. Telling you, it's a lost art form. The fucking dirty barbershop quartet. They get thrown out of every competition the moment they start singing. They're like, now the McElfresh Barbershop Quartet. Ooh, you're wet for John. Get him off the stage. What? Why? I'm telling you, that's an album right there.
Yes, it is.
Start writing the filthiest fucking barbershop quartet song you could sing. We can record.
I'll write the music. You write the lyrics.
Done and done. We can record. Aren't they all bum 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 bum? Isn't it one fucking one music over and over again?
Oh, you think every song is exactly the same? Just the lyrics are
totally
different and more filthy as time goes on.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'll fucking write the lyrics. No problem. But that's a project we can get done even in the middle of pandemic. Get like 4 really good voices and shit and record them, and then we'll just layer them up and and then fucking rock, like put that shit on fucking Bandcamp where people are like, oh my God, have you heard the fucking the Body Barbershop Quartet?
Mm-hmm.
The Body Barbers, that's what we call us. Does Body say it? Yeah, Body is nice because it's marketable. People are like, Body. Yeah. I'm Body. Whenever I fucking go out, I feel Body too. The Body Barbers, man. Body Barbers, Naughty Barbershop Quartet.
Okay.
The Naughty Barbershop Quartet. Got to throw it.
You don't mean like an actual colon. There's like just the 2 dots, right?
Put an actual colon in there, man. That makes it even dirtier. Before they even hear a fucking note, they're like, look at that fuck. Is that an asshole on that fucking record? Placed right in the center, too. The Body Barbers. Like imagine you hear the Body Barbers rock WAP, wet ass pussy. That wet ass pussy. Boom, 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 boom.
That wet ass pussy.
Tastes so goddamn good. Boom, 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 boom. I like that wet ass pussy in my neighborhood. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, you're so crazy.
I'm telling you, dude, it's a good idea. Everybody thinks that's a good idea. Write to Andy McElfresh at
Write to Kevin Smith
Edumacation.
That Kevin
Andy
Smith Club
at Twitter. You'll find him because he's got a series of pictures of bothered birds who are like, like they just got caught jerking off. And let him know that you want to hear that album because Andy can make it happen. He's got the Barbershop Quartet. Just needs to come up with the music. I'll come up with the filthiest fucking lyrics imaginable. So filthy that I bet you'd be hard for your friends to fucking pull it off and sing because they'd be like, I touched her nipple. And that's on nipple. That's before we get to the real hardcore words like vulva and butthole. Did you have fun, kids? Was that enough comedy for you? Well, I'm afraid it's going to have to do because that's it's all we're given.
Yes, end every podcast with an apology.
Yeah, taking what we're given because we're fucking podcasting for a living. If you enjoyed today's episode, particularly Bane's routine, I don't know why, but I feel like we should thank Professor Andrew McElfresh.
And with such a left-handed compliment, I doff my cap to you, sir. Thank you.
He is not a real professor, but don't worry about that.
I was too focused on the just the underhandedness of the comment, but yes, not a real professor.
You were busy.
That's right. I forgot that.
New music for the barbershop for the Body Barbers, man. I'm telling you, give me more than boom, 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 boom. Although we could do 9 songs that are just the same with different lyrics.
Yes.
I grabbed her vulva and then she grabbed my dick. Boom, 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 boom. Hi. My wife walked in and waved.
What's that like? Nice. During a podcast.
She gave me a note that says I'm walking out of this marriage. I was like, oh shit. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Did you have a silly good time? I know I did, man. If you had a silly good time, you give it up for the fucking man over there, the man with the plan, the man who is a fish, Andy McElfresh, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
And
not a real fish.
Not a real fish. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Edumacation for this week. I'm Kevin Smith.
And I'm Andy McElfresh.
And you have not only been decimated, you have been edumacated. Boom, 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 boom.